Hey guys. We should be streaming. Hold on 1 second. Okay. I think we're streaming live too. How are you guys doing tonight? Okay, so let me go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room. My cat scratched me. I look like I have a mustache. It was like the worst thing ever. Um, it's been fun being at the fair with a cat scratch on your face. Let's see where I can find. Can you guys hear me okay? All right. So, hope you guys are doing good. And sorry about my cat scratch. So tonight I have some things to share with you, and I'm excited. And everybody should be getting on, and everybody should also be on Facebook. And we got a kid screaming in the background. Hold on 1 second. Let me let them know I'm live. Okay. So tonight I want to talk to you about a couple of things, and I'm going to be mindful of your time. So thank you for taking your Tuesday night and investing it into your business and into your life. But I want to have like a serious talk with you guys tonight about some things that I feel like it's really going to open up your eyes into the business and why you're actually here. And then I've got a couple of things I want to show you on how to be able to upgrade your business this fall. So first of all, let's talk about two things. How many of you guys have heard of transactional versus transformational sales? Anybody? You can raise your hand, put it in the chat. Transactional sales is going to keep you in a place and in a box because you are always looking at results. That's it. Transformational is going to be relationships that you are going to form, problems that you're going to solve, and blessings that are going to come from this business. Just from changing your business from transactional to transformational. So one thing we're going to do tonight, and I hope everybody gets on here in time, is I want you guys to use the chat right now. And if you're on Facebook, hey, say hello to us. I want us to do an activity, and then we're going to break into some breakout rooms. So I think we have about, we usually have about 25 people on here. So we'll give it a little bit of time. But something that I had to do, I took a program to really help me understand the difference between transactional and transformational. And the minute that I stopped becoming transactional and went to becoming transformational, my business changed. Okay. So let's talk about first your help statement. All right. We're going to actually break out in a group, but I want you to put in the chat, whether you're on Facebook or on here, what is it that you help others do by being a Scentsy consultant? Right now, off the top of your head, what is it that you help others do? And I want to read some of these. So go ahead and light up that chat with those things that you help others do. And we'll start reading them. Because I'm getting ready to blow you away, I think, with an epiphany that we had. Make their surroundings smell amazing. Build their confidence. What else do you got there? Somebody comes up to you and say, I help what? Enjoy the scents we all love. See if anybody's written anything on Facebook yet. Not yet. Think about the products. Think about the business. What is it? Solve solutions for their problems. Okay. All right. Y'all are in the right path. I talk to people all the time. This is when I get excited, whenever I get really close to the computer. I talk to people all the time who have huge sales every month. And they can tell me I problem solve. I help their house smell good. I bring memories back to life through scent. I help them use oils instead of waxes because they like oils better. Help them. Okay, that's good. I serve them. They're talking about everything. So I want you guys to be honest for a second. Raise your hand if you don't have a problem getting sales. If you feel very confident in sharing the products with other people. I want you to think about that for a second. Do you feel confident in sharing products with other people? So if I came up to you and I was like, tell me about your products, are you guys going to be more than happy to share your products with me? Tell me your thought process when I ask you, do you feel comfortable sharing your products with other people? Putting your products in someone else's hands, solving their problems, making a change through products, right? Okay. So many people, like I talked about a second ago, have no problem selling the products, right? Everybody has confidence in sales. When I do coaching, I am usually not having to coach people about how to share products. What do you think that I have to coach people about more so than sharing the products? Let me see what y'all say. Because I'm going to tell you something. Sales is basically a transfer of belief. That's it. You can go up and go to a car lot and look at a certain car and compare it to this car A and this car B. Have a salesman come up. They can transfer your belief from you wanting to get there and buy this Camry, and then you happen to get what, a Pilot or something in that, or maybe a minivan, because they transferred your belief. So most of us do not have a problem transferring belief of products, letting them know it's easier to do your laundry. If you use the counter cleaning on these surfaces, you're going to have these kind of results. You can use it on your shoes. You can use it in your car. You can use it on your fabric. I get up in the morning and I spray my bed with Scentsy Fresh. I mean, you name it, right? So now let's look at your confidence in sharing the opportunity. How many of you feel confident in sharing the opportunity? And be honest. Because that transfer in belief isn't getting someone to buy this product anymore. They are actually now having to believe in you, being able to believe in what you're saying about this company, being able to believe that their life will change somehow, some way by signing up, right? So there really isn't a transfer of belief in the product. There's more of a transfer in the belief in, are we going to be that leader they need, right? I wrote down some things here because I want you guys, and we got a lot of people in here now, I want you guys to first, before we move into the second part, I want you to really dig in and figure out what your help statement is. Because if you just sit there and say that you help people's houses smell better, or you help people solve problems, or you help people, have a better life, but you don't have passion behind that help statement, people aren't going to take you for what you say you are. Now, if you say something like, I help empower women find the person that they were meant to be, or I'm not going to give you any because I want you guys to come up with it. So I'm going to break you up into rooms. And I want you guys to I'm going to actually give you about 10 minutes because I'm going to talk to people on Facebook. I'm going to break you into rooms and I'm going to give you time to talk about help statements. And when we come back, I want to hear those help statements. Okay. But it's got to be that you are helping this person. The person that you are actually having to talk to is a human being. They're not a number. And transactional versus transformational changes whenever you start saying, if I talk to 20 people, I'm going to get 2 people that join my team. That's numbers, right? But if I turn around to you and I tell you, tell me about those 20 people that you talk to. What do they do? Where do they work? Where do they want to go vacation? How many kids do they have? What are their favorite things to do? What's their favorite drink? What's their favorite candy? What are they scared of? Half the people go, I don't know. Because guess what? A lot of people just send them a message following up, seeing how they like the product, and they are scared to death to ask them how they are. How is life? From scale to 1 to 10, what would you rate your life right now? I mean, when we went through COVID, I had to message my customers. Before I even talked about Scentsy, I wanted to know where their life was. Scale to 1 to 10, how's life right now? They'd be like 5. What would make it a 10 if this and this didn't happen? And I would build those relationships with people before I talked to them about that product. Because what happens is that you diminish yourself in other people's eyes when all you're doing is talking about the product, to where when they do relate to that customer consultant at a festival, or they do relate to a consultant at a fundraiser, or someone who is following up with them because they happen to buy from that consultant, never heard from you again, they're going to join them because they can relate to them because that person knows about them. And a lot of times this can be scary. It can be really scary. But when I'm doing these coaching calls and I'm saying, you have no problem selling, look at your sales, you're over 500 already. How many conversations are you having about the opportunity? None. Why is that? The best product that we have in Scentsy is this opportunity. Before you even get to the cleaning and the laundry and the wax and the oils and the kid stuff and the twist and all the things, the best product we have is the opportunity. So let's go back to our help statement. That's the most important thing we need to do. Is I want each of you to share with everyone. So we have, we're going to break into 4 or 5 groups. And I want each of you to tell each other what your I help statement is. All right. And we are going to break into these rooms right now. Do you understand what you're doing? Because I'm going to be left alone and I'll be talking to everybody on Facebook. So we're going to have 5 rooms and they're going to be created. And I think we're going to be, let's see, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, 5 with me. What you guys are going to do is you're going to go in there and I want you to tell everybody what is it that you help others do. Because I'm going to tell you something. The one thing that you don't realize is your best prospect is actually someone like you, right? How many times you've been like, oh, I just wish I'd meet somebody like me. I just wish I'd meet somebody who was like hungry for this. Think about why you joined Scentsy. Think about what it is that you believe is your calling and your purpose for the people that you're called to be able to bless people with this opportunity. That is where your I help statement comes in. So maybe if you've gone through a divorce and I help single moms be able to find their confidence again through making their home smell better. You see what I'm saying? It's got to be an I help statement. So, are you ready? I'm putting you in there, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Here we go. All right, everybody is leaving. So, can you guys on Facebook still hear me? Okay. Everybody on Facebook, if you can hear me, I want you to say you hear me. So you hear me? Yeah. Did you say yes? Okay. So I am asking you the same thing that I just asked them. They broke into rooms with other consultants and teammates to discuss this in detail. So what I want you to do is I want you to write down below, what do you feel your I help statement with Scentsy is? And let's read through them. Let's see if anybody has any. Am I frozen? I don't think I'm frozen. I don't think I'm frozen. No, I'm not frozen. So on Facebook here, I'm watching you guys here. What is your I help statement with Scentsy? What do you feel, or who do you feel you're called to help through this business? Let's start there. Because I know for me, I needed confidence. And so for me, it's definitely helping others, empowering themselves to be able to find the confidence that they once knew. My help statement is always, I can help you make that extra money you might need to get those items you want, but can't afford. And I will help you all the way. If I do this, you can. Okay, that's good. But let's break it down a little bit further, okay? Yes, they can make extra money. Who is it that you feel like you can help? Because every single person is not someone that we can help, because not every single person is going to resonate with us in our story, right? You can't be everybody's cup of tea. So if you were to target market a certain area of people that you felt super comfortable and super passionate about talking to them about a certain subject, what would that be? Sitting here talking on my phone. What would that be? Who would that be? Just think about that for a second. I want you to think about, why did you start this business? Number one, right? We all know why. We're here for a reason. We all know why. Why are you here right now? Why do you stay? Is the other thing. And then the other thing is, who do you feel called to help through this business? Maybe there's a fundraiser that's on your heart that you have not been brave enough to ask someone about. A single mom or a person who lives in a tight budget. Very good. Because I could tell whenever you wrote down the extra money needed to help that you can't afford, there's a reason you said that. Because you're trying to reach an area of people who may want the products but can't afford them, but for a reason. So that's really good. So you kind of know right there that you can help single moms, right? I can help anyone who has an open mind and willing to learn. That's fantastic. I think that's a lot of business people. A lot of business people, people who are super, super busy, they actually are the best consultants because they know how to time manage. They know, you'll hear people all the time who are taking classes. Why are they taking another class? They've already got this degree. Or people who have like 2 degrees or 3 degrees or what, and they're always going back to school. They make excellent consultants because they're hungry. for knowledge. And that's someone that I know I could definitely market to because I'm hungry for knowledge. I can never get enough. People who like to read books, book clubs, things that I've been in different groups with book clubs and talk to people about books, and they find time to read because they find it rewarding, right? So they will find time for things that they feel are rewarding. So that is something I feel like I could help people with. I was that person. I knew that. Whenever you wrote that, I had a feeling. What else do you have here? Let's see. Anybody else? Who do you feel like you can help? Who do you feel like you have been called to help? I'm curious. I'm talking to Facebook here because they still have 4 minutes. And I can't wait to hear their answers. But if you were to think about your ideal recruit, perfect recruit. Now, I'm not talking about the unicorn out there that's going to go out there and do $5,000 in PRV and recruit 5 people a month. I'm not talking about that person. I'm talking about your ideal recruit. And your ideal recruit is someone you know you can relate to, someone you know that when you talk about Scentsy and the passion that burns in you because you know how Scentsy changed your life and it can change their life, that's your ideal recruit. That's your target market. See if anybody else wants to answer that before we have 3 more minutes with the other ones, and we'll go into the next part. But that's the one thing that I am constantly coaching people on, is they have this confidence to sell a product, but they don't have the confidence to share the best product we have, which is the opportunity. And that is whenever we have to really dig deep and become intentional and figure out, okay, who can I help through this? Who can I help problem solve through this, right? In just a little bit, we're going to go through 4 different areas that will help you build your business in target marketing. I want them to feel the passion I have and love what they do and I do. That's right. And when you can transfer that passion, you are transferring that belief to them, because that's why people go in to buy car A and then they leave with car B, because either that salesperson had a story or knows a family or has something passionate to share that you were able to relate to, and you left off the lot with a different car than you intended to buy, right? It happens all the time. It's the transfer of belief. So who else? Let's share. Somebody else share something with me while we're waiting for them. I'll also share something else. When they come back, I'll talk about this too. But a lot of people are scared to share the product of the opportunity because of some past experience that they had, whether it be with another company or whether it be with teammates that they've had in Scentsy. And what happens is they get frustrated, discouraged, overwhelmed, and they start looking how hard they worked and how much they put into it, and they see it as they didn't get paid off. The payoff was not worth it, right? And they start to be able to say, well, I don't want to talk to that person, because if I talk to that person and even offer them the opportunity and even relate to them, and my story resonates with them, and they say yes, then they're just going to let me down anyway. How many of you guys feel that way? I feel like there's a lot of you guys that feel that way. You just got to be strong enough and brave enough to talk about it. All right, we're going to go and get them. Let's see. We're going to close all the rooms. And they're going to come back and they're going to share their I help statements. Here they come. Let's see if we can change the view so everybody can see everybody. All right, everybody should be coming back now. Here they come. Okay. So, you guys, how was that exercise? So, do we have any volunteers that will share their I help statement? It was difficult, right? It's difficult to dig deep.
Yes, it is.
Very difficult. It'll almost bring you to tears. So who's gonna be brave enough to share their I'll help statement with me?
Well, I'll start.
Okay.
Well, we didn't really come up with a help statement. We
Wait, hold on.
basically
Find you. Where are you? Is it Tina?
I'm right here. Yeah.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Okay.
I'm trying to find the right person, so hold on. Do you have a blue shirt on?
Yeah, blue with pandas or something on.
Okay, you're over here. Gotcha. You're Samsung. You're not Tina. Okay, hold on. I got you. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So we didn't really come up with a help statement. We basically, because all three of us are basically in the same situation, we basically came up with like body language, how much they're enjoying it, and then go from there, get to somewhat know them as who they are if it's a complete stranger, and try to figure out how to do a baseline from that. Like today I did a swap. I do a Pamper Chef party for you, you do a Scentsy party for me. So that's what we're doing. And this lady's from Pennsylvania, and that's
Okay.
because she was doing a Pampered Chef party for a friend of mine, and I ordered, and she needed a person to sign up, and I said, okay, I'll do this if you do this, and it worked out.
Okay, I love that. So you're helping her and she's helping you. You're scratching her back, she's scratching yours, basically.
Right.
Okay. So your target market is almost other network sales people that you feel comfortable talking to because you feel like if you can support their business, they're going to support yours.
I'm
right?
hoping. Yes.
Okay. But it's easy to tell ourselves that because that's an easy way to get your foot in the door. And that's an excellent way. So that was really good because so many people are scared to ask other people in other businesses to actually share our products and do swaps. So I acknowledge you for being brave enough to doing that. And I can't wait to hear how that works out. But I think that your passion for that particular area would come through more because maybe you might be more apprehensive to share it with just someone else who maybe has never owned a business before. See what I'm saying?
Right.
So
no,
that's
and
good.
I own a cleaning business, so it kind of helps a little bit.
Okay. Then if you own a cleaning business?
Yes, I do.
Well, right there, what do you help people do with the Scentsy products?
I actually, some of my customers, because I know one of my customers is big on scents and candles. So what I do, and she actually orders from me once in a blue moon, I leave her the scent and the pamphlet of the month on her counter before I leave the house. So I always leave her something to let her know that I appreciate her having me as her housekeeper. And I appreciate that she does order one from me once in a while.
Okay. How do you feel like the products help her?
They put her at ease, just the new smells of the seasons because she's big on fall. So I made sure I left the fall scent in the fall brochure or whatever I need to do to make her there.
Okay, so she has told you that it puts her at ease. She has told you that she likes to smell them, right? So
yes,
you can kind of see how you are helping other people experience relaxation in a spotlight environment by sharing scents. So you've actually identified two I help statements. You are helping others in network marketing, but you're also helping others experience. See, a lot of people just don't just buy the products to buy the products. They buy the products because the feelings that they get from those products.
exactly.
And that is what you are able to do through this cleaning business and using the Scentsy products. That's awesome.
So
Thank you for sharing.
are we basically talking about like basically the five senses, was what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you feel? It's basically the five senses, correct?
Yeah, because if you think about it, feelings are always before thoughts, and thoughts come before a belief. So if you're having a thought of something and it smells really good, your feeling is going to be very uplifting, right?
Okay.
It's
Yes, it
going to
will.
remind you of maybe your grandmother cooking cookies, when you were little, because you smelled baked apple pie, and it's immediately going to give you that feeling of, wow, it's that uplifting feeling of, I got to remember to call her and get some more of this. I don't ever want to run out of it again.
Right.
So it's the feeling we're trying to capture. That's right. That was very, very good.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Who else wants to tell me their I help statement? Who else do we have that we're going to do that?
I didn't have anyone to talk to, but I had music. It helped a lot. It made me feel much better about life. So, being here, I'm the most grateful for this opportunity. It is a big honor.
Okay. Was that somebody or was that a TV? I think it was a TV. Okay. Who are we going to have? This is part of it. This is part of sharing the opportunity. Is being brave to talk about who do you feel like you can help.
I guess I will go. I'll jump out of my comfort zone.
All right. Let's hear from you.
We just talked about kind of our join conversations and how I go about like starting the conversation, kind of like you did, saying that you got to know them a little bit and talk to them. So she had joined a party of mine, my last one, and she is a stay-at-home mom. She's very young. She's currently pregnant again with her second one. And so we were jokingly, she loves the counter cleaner. And so I was telling her about the new travel twist and how that could help her with her diaper bag and the dirty diapers, and she can throw them in her diaper genie or whatever. And she was jokingly talking about how her husband's always getting on her about spending too much money because she likes to shop and stuff. And I was like, well, what if you told him you could pay one bill a month by doing something that you love? Obviously you like the products and you're familiar with them and stuff. And so she got back with me a couple days after that and was like, he loves the idea. He's so happy, he doesn't care. And so we got her kit for free, and she's killing it. She's almost certified, and she just joined like the 30th of August. So she's excited. She's just super excited. And it was not even about her selling, but being able to help her be able to stay at home and continue to be a stay-at-home mom, and also fulfill that need of, she kind of gets that feeling of being able to purchase stuff, but not really spend money that they need for other stuff. And it made her husband happy too.
I like that. So you do feel like you helped her?
Yes. Yeah.
And I think Jennifer Parker was actually talking about that in our Facebook as well. So I think a lot of times, could you relate at all to any of the things?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So do you feel like?
Yeah, and I think a lot of the conversation started with, because being a stay-at-home mom, you don't have that adult conversation interaction a lot. And so I was telling her, our team is super small, and it's not about being a Scentsy consultant as much as it is being there for each other. And like, if we're having in our family or with our kids, or just need some adult conversation, because my husband currently is leaving for long periods at a time, and I had my 2 older girls go back to college, so it's just me and my 6-year-old son. And so I'm kind of single momming it again, and me and her really clicked on that level, like being able to have a conversation other than a little kid or about the iPad or YouTube or whatever. So it's a community, and like, I don't know, it's become more of a calling, I guess, or is the way I feel about it, more than just a job. It's like, because I literally just told my husband, because I had two people asked me to join. Chastity's on here, and I just said, I think this is where God wants me to be, because people are actually coming to me, and I feel like I am being able to help them.
Right, exactly. And that was one of the things, was who do you feel called to help?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's going to change in every season of our life. When I first joined Scentsy, I, like, it was insane because I had 3 kids under the age of 3, and I had no time for me, no adult
Right.
time. And
Yes.
so when I would do my parties, I would actually talk to adults and not have to hear, like, Mickey Mouse all day long. And so I help statement back then was, I help moms find a peace through
Yes.
getting together and sharing scents with them and having coffee or whatever. And
Yes.
as I've grown, my I help statement has changed. But every time I identify who can I help in this season in my life, that's whenever my business grows. That's whenever I feel like that is who I am called to help. So that was beautiful what you just shared. And
Thank
I
you.
think that you definitely nailed it. Okay, we have time for one more. Does anybody else want to share their I help statement? I'll let you guys open up. Who's going to be our last brave soul? Somebody. Who's going to do it? So different people in different seasons of your life that you're being able to talk to more passionately than you ever have been. Because you realize that what you have gone through in your life has brought you to this point in your life to be able to say, you know what, I learned a lesson from this, and this is why I'm here now, and this is who I can talk to because of it.
I'll say something. I think if you, as far as helping someone that can lead to something in your business, if you help them solve a problem with Scentsy, not that you're going to be like, oh, look, I solved this problem for you. You need to join my team now. But you need to like solve the problem for them. Like we talked about, let's just say they have pets, and everybody that has pets has odors, unless you're like already a Scentsy person and you're like cleaning like a mad fiend. But if you could solve a problem for them by giving them, something that's going to mask the scent of their pets, or even wash their pets, send them a sample or something like that, that opens up the door to trust with them, to where you can, build that relationship that could possibly turn into a future teamie. But you have to, looking at it as solving a problem for them, then that turns Scentsy into like a need. Everybody wants Scentsy, but if you can turn Scentsy into a need, that's going to help your business, because they're going to need to come back to you, or they're going to need to join your team and get it for themselves. So if you look at it in the way that, meeting new people, in your everyday talking, and you need to like key in on those things, like in conversations when they're talking about different things, and basically think about Scentsy in every situation of the conversation. Just don't put it out there. Don't be like obnoxious and put it out there. But I was literally doing a training at my work the other day, and I told Shannon this. I was like, all I could think about was my Scentsy team. Like everything, I work for a hospital, and it's like everything they talked about, I was like, because they were talking about, empathy and, working with your team and working with your coworkers. And I'm by myself. I don't have anybody other than me that does my job. So it's like, I immediately like switched over to like Scentsy brain, and I was like, what can this do to help my Scentsy business? So if you're in conversations with people, think about how your products or your business can help them. Like she said, if you can pay one bill out of your finances for your family, how much of a help is that going to be? I love that she said that. And sometimes we think about, oh, I'd love to get a $500 paycheck, or I'd love to get $1,000 paycheck. But wouldn't it be nice just to have groceries and gas that you didn't have to worry about? You know, so I mean, if you can help in any way to make it a need and not a want, then that's going to build your business also.
I love that. And that's a perfect transition into the next thing that we're actually going to talk about. That was absolutely perfect. So there's so many ways that we can help people. And before we move forward, I want you guys to understand also, I hear this from people all the time, and that is that every customer is a potential prospect. And I'm going to tell you something. Not every single person you sell to is going to be the person that's supposed to be on your team. It's just not. And I believe that it's all about how you build those relationships, because some people are going to be excellent mavens for you. They're going to give you so many referrals, and you just love on them and touch on them. And, you know, I give like little travel twists and little referral gifts and stuff, because some people, it stresses them out to actually join Scentsy. Have you ever had a customer who just buys hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars from you? You're like, oh, you need to sell because you already buy it and now you get paid on your own purchases, right? Now they're on your team and they're feeling like they have to hit a certain number or a certain amount, or they see all these people that are always in the top so many sales and the top so many recruiting, and they just weren't cut out for that. So they quit, right? They quit and they feel bad about it. So I'm here to tell you, stop making every single person your prospect. Definitely share the opportunity, but don't force someone or make them, don't try and transfer that belief when it's not made for them. Okay. That's one thing I wanted to say. The other thing that I wanted to say is a lot of people are scared to have a I help statement, because they feel like sometimes when they've identified that I help statement and they've helped the person they feel like that they needed to help, they join their team, and then they don't do what they thought they would do, or they make false promises, or they don't put in their orders, or they get let down, I guess you could say. And that all goes back to expectations about, you know, what expectations you have of someone and what they have of you and what you have of yourself. That's what that all goes back down to. But the problem is, if you don't identify those expectations, you end up putting yourself into this place of being stuck to where you never grow a team, because you stop believing that the best product is the opportunity, and you stop believing that you are the person made for that person to join underneath. Because I can sit here all day long and ask you, tell me 5 things why Counter Clean is great and why someone should buy it. Tell me 5 things about why the air purifier is awesome. And every single one of you could just spit off all these things. But when I turn to you and I say, tell me 5 things about you, why I should join under you, you clam up, you get scared, because there's a belief, there's that transfer of belief that is not there. And that is something that goes from transactional, because when you're saying, okay, I talked 20 people, 2 people joined, or I talked 20 people and nobody wants to do it, let me move 20 more people, you stop becoming transformational, because you're now looking at the results. And if you have someone join your team, or if you have 5 people join your team, or let's say you have 20 people join your team, and 20 people leave your team, and you start believe it's because you are not a good leader, that you are not cut out to do this, that you did something that made them leave, then you're going to go into a place that's very hard to come back from. I've been there before. And it's a belief. And I promise you that if you can identify who you feel like God has put on your heart and who you are called to help, and you start there, and you start serving others by problem solving, by asking them, you know, how their life is, how their day is. Maybe somebody has told you they've wanted to go to Disney before, and so you share the thing that they were doing. I can't think what it's called now. Not the raffle, but the I can't remember, sweepstakes. With sweepstakes with them and say, hey, my company's doing this. It's the smallest little things that people will think about and that would trigger them, that will want to join your team because you remembered them. People are living human beings, and that's something that so many of us forget. We start looking at them as numbers. These people that we talk to every day, the people that we wake up to meet, the people that I believe that you are selling Scentsy because you're supposed to go change their life, they have obstacles and they have struggles that they have to deal with every single day. They're just not a number. They're not that 20 and now I talk to 2. Because I want you to think about this when you have your conversations this week. What if Shannon called me and asked me about the last 5 people I talked to? What could I tell her about these people other than they bought whiffs, oil, and a room spray and they bought from Tracy's party? What is it that I could say to them or to her about these people? So do you guys understand the difference between being transformational and being transactional? Because transactional is when you're looking at that result. And when you don't hit the result, you get stuck. Transformational is when you don't even hit the result, but look at how far you've come. Look at the relationships you've built. Look at the seeds that you have planted. Look at the referrals that are going to come your way and your future business and your future prospects. Do you guys understand that? Because I want you guys to go from a transactional mind to a transformational mind in your business. To saying, I met this person for a reason. What I went through in life is really going to help this person. Maybe it's inviting them to your church. Maybe it's like she said, being able to find something to solve a problem. Maybe it's a connection. Do you know how many people I have met? And I'm going to tell you this about, in 2015, I was at a Scentsy family reunion. I don't know if a lot of you guys know this, but I was at a Scentsy family reunion in Vegas. All right. So to make this short and sweet, I'd sworn I'd never go back to Vegas ever again because that's where my oldest daughter was actually conceived, if you know what I mean. And it was a really, 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 really horrible time. It was a horrible man, a bad situation. So I associated Vegas with that relationship. So I go to Vegas to go to a Scentsy convention. And the whole time I was there, I kept remembering back whenever I was there, whenever, it was that time. And it almost made me sick. It's almost like the feeling of it just really put me, I was trapped. I couldn't breathe. Anyway, long story short. So I go to the convention and they are talking about where the trips are going to be next. And our next trip was going to be at Moon Palace. And of course, Moon Palace is where I went on my honeymoon with the first guy that I married. That was so abusive and horrible. So I'm thinking, why am I even here? I'm in Vegas. Now we're going to Moon Palace. What is Scentsy doing? I need to get home. So I turned to my husband and I said, I want to go. I want to go right now. Let's get out of here. I can't be in Vegas anymore. So we leave Vegas. We go to the airport. We get on a red eye and we get ready to go home. And some of you guys might remember this. Well, anyway, on the way home, I had a pulmonary embolism. I almost died. They had to land the plane. It was an emergency landing. One of the girls that were on our team was sitting in front of me. She was a nurse and she was able to, kind of sit by me. There were no doctors on the flight except a neonatal doctor who did everything by touch. So they didn't know if I was having a stroke, if I was having a heart attack. They had no idea what was going on with me. They were giving me aspirin. They were giving me nitroglycerin. They were giving me orange juice. They were giving me all the things because they had no idea. Okay. So to tell you the story, let me tell you, when I landed in Memphis, Tennessee, emergency landed, I had to contact a girl at a heart clinic who had done basket parties for me. If I would not have known her, if I would not have built relationships with her on Facebook, I sent her a message. I said, I need help. I'm in Memphis, Tennessee. They won't let me leave until I find a doctor that will see me in Greenville. She said, no problem. I'm on it. I'd have a pulmonary doctor. Another girl did a basket party for me at Physicians East. I messaged her. I need help. I'm in Memphis, Tennessee. Can you help me? She got me an appointment. I needed another doctor to be able to look at some things. I contacted that nurse because I'd done basket parties. All of these people were not prospects to be able to join my team, nor did they ever join my team. But they were in my life for a reason. I needed them in the future from when I did a party for them months before or years before, where I had built relationships where I needed that connection to be able to help me. And what I'm trying to tell you is that these transformational relationships that you are building are going to help you in your business and maybe in your life. You never know. If it wasn't for those people being able to get me to a doctor, get me transferred out of Memphis, Tennessee, then I don't know what I would have done, because they wanted me to stay there 3 weeks until a doctor would see me. And you guys know how it is to try and get into a doctor with a referral, right? So I'm trying to explain to you, I want you to grasp really tightly here that these people that you meet that are going through obstacles and struggles every single day are meant to meet you for a reason. And them knowing you or you knowing them will help you somewhere down the road. I mean, we're going through some stuff right now that if I didn't have some connections with people that I have sold Scentsy to, realtors and attorneys and things like that, that I couldn't just message on Facebook. And a lot of people are like, don't use Facebook for your business. Well, Facebook is where I get to see their life. Facebook is where I can like their posts and I can comment whenever I see them have success in their life and celebrate with them whenever they have victories. And I can keep those relationships going. So yes, I use Facebook. And when it has to do with life situations, I will contact them and say, hey, I believe that we met for a reason and I think this is what it is. And yeah, they might end up being my best customer. They might end up being my best teammate, but it is a relationship that is formed. Okay. All right. We have 10 minutes left. So I want to show you some things. We have identified problem solving. We have identified target marketing. We talked to Tina earlier where she said her cleaning business, right? So how many people do we know that absolutely hate doing laundry? Me, I hate it. How many people hate doing dishes? Me, I hate it. What if we found a really fun way for them to do it, right? You guys may have seen this before, but I'm going to show you what I do. So if I put on Facebook, and yes, I'm going to use Facebook, and I don't like people to have to depend on Facebook for their business, but sometimes just getting those open-ended questions out there is totally worth it. It's like, how many of you guys hate doing laundry like I do? How many of you guys have 4 kids and have so much laundry you don't even know what to do? Or maybe you make a funny TikTok about it or reel about it, or you have a funny GIF or meme or whatever, right? And then people start saying me, right? Well, what if I give them a laundry borrow bag? A try it before you buy it borrow bag of laundry. Hey, I saw that you hate laundry as much as I do. I'm going to tell you something that really helped me, and it might help you. And I just want to give this to you to see if you like it. And I want to get your feedback. Because guess what? The minute that I get, and it's going to be full product. So a lot of times you can go into the clearance section if you can't afford certain things and get things in the clearance section to be able to borrow out. But I'll give them like a little jar of whiffs. If I don't have a jar of whiffs, then I will make up enough packets to be able to do a good load of laundry, right? Then I will give them the dryer disc and the laundry liquid. This is just a laundry borrow bag. If I message enough people, and I might let somebody borrow it, get it back in 2 days, let somebody borrow it, get it back in 2 days, I'm going to have people who are going to love laundry, because that is something that I know so many stay-at-home moms that love to do laundry, but they hate it at the same time. It's a love-hate relationship, right? Because you feel like you're doing something, you feel like you're there to serve your family, you feel like you're doing a good thing, but you absolutely hate it. What if we find a different scent for every kid to where we can incorporate the children doing the laundry? That's what I did. I was like, Andalyn loves, Coral Waters. Peyton loves Luna. Caden loves Quiver or whatever. And everybody had their own set, and I made it fun. Okay. What if we ask about cleaning? How many of you guys hate doing dishes? How many of you guys wish that your house smelled better whenever, you use the 409 and not chemical or whatever? I mean, there's so many ways to put it out there. How many of you guys would love to find a cleaning product you fall in love with? And then you have a borrow bag of cleaning, right? And then you have in your full product. Again, you can give them samples if you have the samples, but I usually give them a counter clean. I give them a dish soap. And then I make them their own little foam soap. All it is our hand soap. It's 2 drops of hand soap, and then you add water, and then you're going to get, see, foam. And I give this to them as a little gift for trying this out. They can keep this. I've made this for them. And then they have a little rag that they can use to clean everything with. They use it for a couple days, get their feedback. Maybe they go into a fun drawing if they share it on their page. And I'll probably get orders and they'll share it with their friends, right? Okay. Another one. How many people, we have like 6 minutes left. How many people know someone who's a hairdresser, right? Or someone who has a cubicle and they can't have a warmer at their cubicle? What if we did a fragrance flower party borrow bag, right? So what I did is I went in and bought different fragrance flowers, and Brandy actually tell you this. I went and bought different scents fragrance flowers. Then we went through and we made little oil samples of each flower. So since we used this flower to make a sample out of, I have all the samples that's going to go with this flower to somebody to try. And if they share all the oils and have a flower fragrance party and they get their orders up, they can get some free stuff, half off stuff, and keep my flower, right? If you don't want to do the oil, then just pull the testers out that the scents are available in the flower. That's another way that you can target market. So think about every person you know that has a cubicle. My daughter works at First Citizens and has a small cubicle in the underwriting area. So this would be excellent for people to be able to share, right? Okay. The foam soap, all you do is you buy these little containers. I'll put it on the page. And these, and you will put 2 drops of hand soap and the rest of it is water, and it will turn into a foam soap. Okay. All right. For your key word or key phrase tonight, I want you to write, I know my help statement. That is what you're going to write. I know my help statement in order to go into the drawing. Okay. And one of you guys are going to get one of my fun little bags. I think everybody's picked up their stuff except one person. Then what if we have a pod party? Because these don't melt. You don't got to worry about testers melting. I mean, not testers melting, wax melting, but you could give them a fan. You could give them a mini fan. You could give them a pod to actually use, and then pull the different scents from the pod that are available in scents, right? You don't have to do all of them. Maybe just do 5 or 10. Maybe you just have one set from your kit that you got from Scentsy, right? Pull out so many scents and say, these are available in laundry, and maybe give somebody something for laundry. These are available in the pods, but there are more if you want to smell them, because a lot of times when you don't give people everything, they want more. They want to know, what else can I smell? We smell good. What if you did a twist party and you gave them a twist and only gave them the scents that came in a twist? And think about, these would be great for lockers. These are great for diaper bins, right? Give them to moms who just had babies. I'm telling you guys, if you go through the catalog and you write out each product and put it in a little chart like this, the products here, and then what customers, who can I help through these products, right? So you have 2 I hope statements that you have discovered tonight. The first one is, who is it you are called to help? Because that is from your passion. That is from the storms that you have gone through in your life, that you feel qualified because you have experience in helping them. There are some people that are doing things for pregnancy fundraisers, or where girls have lost their babies, or there's some people who are doing the buddy drives because they want to be able to put buddies in NICUs, right? Tonight we met someone at the fair. He has a soup kitchen, and some Scentsy organization had donated a whole bunch of buddies, and he didn't even know what to do with them, and we had to tell him. You have products that solve people's problems every day, and you also have the best product of the opportunity to solve the problems that people go to sleep every single night praying that they wish they had an answer to. But we have to transfer the belief of them joining under you and you being brave enough to share the opportunity with them, just like you can transfer the belief of why this mini fan will change their life. And when you can turn it into a transformational thing from a transactional thing, that is when you are going to have a thriving business. Does that make sense? All right, cool. Well, does anybody have any questions or anything? Because we're right at the hour and I want to be respectful of your time. So again, the keyword tonight is I know my help statement. And I really hope and pray that you guys do know your help statement and you do dig deep and find that passion for the people that you feel that you're called to talk to and help in this business.
Hey, Shannon, this is Tina.
Hey.
Hey, I was gonna let you know that also with that counter clean, it's helped at my job with the ants, and my boss loves it. She's got now all the slip-ins around Virginia getting it now.
Oh, I love that. That's great.
And it helps a whole lot with them ants.
That's great. I love
And
that.
I couldn't believe it.
That's great. Well, you never know. You never know till you try, right? Your business
Yes,
is not
ma'am.
open until you open your mouth and share. So, I think coconut lemongrass. Is it coconut lemongrass? What is it? What's the scent that you like so much with ants?
It's the citric.
It's the
Sun
citric
kissed
acid that's inside of it that kills the ants and it puts a barrier.
Cool. I love it. Absolutely love it.
It's
All
helped
right.
the whole lot at work.
Cool. That's good. All right. Well, you guys have a great night. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And to get in that drawing, put I know my help statement. Bye.
Bye.